No,
anything embarrassing that someone can see?
Yeah, no. You were, yeah, no, you're golden.
Oh.
Well, as a matter of fact, before we go live, why don't you tell us, Riley, your most embarrassing moment? Here, let me take Denise out of the thing. So Denise is going to, there we go. So before we go live, Riley, why don't you tell me, tell me like the most embarrassing thing that you do not want anybody.
No.
No, you sure? Okay.
No, that was smooth. That was like I was really thinking about it.
I almost got you. You know you do know that we're live, right?
No.
Okay, we're live. So, hello world. It's Riley Edwards, and we're now live in front of the whole world. I think we're we're on a YouTube channel. We're in Riley's Rebels, which is Riley's book club, and we're on my Facebook page, my audiobook narrator Facebook page, and what else? Yeah, we're everywhere. We're
everywhere.
Yeah. So Denise Black is in the background over there. Let's say hi to Denise real quick. Hi, Denise. Denise is taking care of chores with us. Like she's going to post comments on the bottom. Let me go down here to the banners so that I can show. Let's see. There we go. Yeah. So feel free to ask us
embarrassing and personal. Awesome.
Yeah. So Riley Edwards is the author of. So Riley is one of the most prolific authors I have ever met. You write. I don't know how you write all the books that you write, day in and day out, and they're all really good.
Yeah.
We've done, how many books did we do together, Riley?
4.
Yeah, we have the 707 series that we did together. But yeah, you just have a ton of books, and all your books are like special forces, black ops, those kinds of romances, right?
Correct. Yeah, all of my guys are either active duty military, retired military, but yeah, I stay on genre, romantic suspense.
Yes, Alan, we are drinking whiskey. You know, I wanted to. I'm sorry, Riley, for interrupting you. I'm prone to see squirrels, and so I do get off task, and I'm sorry.
Run with it.
So first of all, I want to show you you can't really see because it looks like, I don't know what the deal is with my whiskey, but that little ice ball in there is the result of hours and hundreds of hours of experimentation, of failure and blood, sweat, and tears. I've been trying to make the perfect see-through, crystal clear ice balls, and I haven't quite gotten there yet. But I have. There's a. Is this
like a passion for you?
It is. Okay. And if you talk to my wife, she will tell you that I'm like stupid about it. So I go through this whole process, and I'm not going to explain the whole process, but it involves an igloo ice cooler and my ice cubes and a chopped up placemat that I've geared so that the ice cube forms sit not on the bottom of the igloo cooler, but on a thing. It's kind of hard to explain, like to picture it. But then there's water on top of that, and so like I wait. I almost got out of bed the other night because I realized my ice cubes are ready, and I was like gonna run down to the deep freeze and go grab my damn ice cubes and pull them out. But it's an hour and a half long process, because you have to. So at the end of this process, I have a whole igloo cooler full of frozen ice, and I have to like chip it and use boiling water and all that stuff to get these ice cubes. But it's a real thing for me.
And they're just clear.
Oh yeah, they're like super clear. And so the cool thing about it is that they don't melt as quickly. Now you have something a little more hardcore than I do. Show them your. Can you see it? You can't really see it in the bottom. They can't. Oh, there you go. Yeah, if you show them the bottom of the thing, she's got a frozen
You see
bullet.
it?
Yes. So,
Yeah.
oh look.
Frozen bullet.
So one of our Facebook users says, "Do you write to music?" And so go ahead and answer that question, then I'll explain this Facebook user thing.
I do not write to music. I actually listen to white noise when I write. But I do listen to, excuse me, a lot of music when I'm writing my book, just not actually writing it. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, music is a huge inspiration for me. So I make playlists for all of my books. So when I'm done writing for the day, I'll listen to some music, I'll make some playlists. But when I'm actually typing and writing the book, I only listen to white noise.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah. It's hard to, I mean, for me, it's difficult to like concentrate on something like writing or, anything that I have to do other than like maybe paying bills or something like that when I'm listening to, dig in the ditches and burn with like, it's difficult to like not focus on banging my head to my favorite music.
I will actually start to transcribe what I'm hearing. So like if the TV's on, if my family's talking, if there's music playing, I don't know, probably, and it'll only take a couple of minutes. I can tune it out for about 3 minutes. And then after that, I'm just transcribing everything everything I'm hearing. So that's why I listen to white noise I'm a squirrel like you. So it's just if I hear a noise, I'm looking at it, it breaks my concentration, pulls me out of the scene. So I listen to white noise and I listen to it extremely loud. So it's like on about 90 in my ears. Just wow. The house could be falling down around me and I would not know.
That's kind of cool. So you're like, I mean, because you do write, you write a lot. You're very, you have like every time I talk. So Riley and I have been friends for quite a while. And I think it was you hit me up one time out of the blue. And I remember this. You said, I don't remember exactly what the question was about.
I know.
Yeah, okay.
It was research
for
a book.
Okay. Yeah. It was something about like, my what makes me like what do I it had to do with sex scenes, didn't it?
It did. So I was doing research. I have a audiobook narrator. And at first, when I was kind of planning out how the book was going to go, it was going to be a male narrator. But as it happens, it's actually a female narrator. And so I was trying to, I was watching all these YouTube videos on these different narrators, but they don't, they're more interview stuff or reading excerpts. So and they weren't answering any of my questions. And yeah, it had a lot to do with sex scenes and how you deal with that. And if like, do you ever like, I write a lot of sex. So when I'm writing it, I've got to obviously go back and reread it. And there are times where I just want to like hit my head on the desk and go, well, how did I even write that? Like,
but is it hard to write sex scenes? Like, what makes it difficult to write sex scenes? Is it just because it's like so personal or?
No, not at all. It's because there's only so many places to put things. Only so many body parts, and there's only so many words to describe it. And so you don't want it to be redundant, saying the same thing over and over again. And then there's certain words that I just will not use.
So what are those words that you will not use? Let's hear them.
Well, and I'm not real fond.
I'll compare notes with you.
So I'm not real fond of the term flower or petal, like her petals opened, or I don't like that. I have actually read a book where the hero's pecker was described, and it was pecker, and I'm not real fond of that word.
Yeah. That doesn't sound sexy. It's more
right.
like
So I mean, that's what makes it so difficult, is because there's just only so many ways to describe the act
it's like
itself.
something you would smack. You'd say, "Get down, get down." Like it's if a pecker is something you want it away. Get that thing away from me.
Well, and that certainly won't work.
Yeah, I think let's see what are some of the ones that are kind of weird to me. Like Karen has a question. Is there any particular genre you would love to write, but only under a pseudonym? I guess since we're talking about sex and stuff like that, we could do that. But anyway, so honeypot is is kind of a funny one to me. That if you write it, then I have to say it. So if you say he dipped his hand into her puffalump, well, I would have to say it. That's so.
His whole hand, or?
Well, if it's a puffalump, you could assume you could pretty much fit anything in there, right? You could fit an igloo cooler in there if you had to, if you like. Okay,
and make ice.
Honey, we got to get into this concert. I need somewhere to put my fifth of tequila. Then can I borrow your puffalump? But yeah, I mean, I pretty much have to say whatever it is that you write, I have to say it, and I have to say it convincingly. So anyway, how about is there any particular genre that you would think to write under a pseudonym?
Yes, I would love to write a thriller, just straight up thriller, no romance, kind of like a Lee Child's Tom Clancy type of book. I obviously would write that under a different pen name. I wouldn't want it, to kind of get mixed in with my romance stuff. And I would write that under a male name.
Okay. So yeah, it's not like you'd be embarrassed to write about anything. It's just more like, yeah, I want people to take me seriously and not expect, oh, okay, this is Riley Edwards, so it's going to be a romance.
Right.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. And I mean, I actually love to read like dystopian. There's kind of like, there's this whole world building involved. And when it's done right, it's phenomenal. And there are a few authors that write really awesome dystopia. I love reading it, but for me, that world building is just, boy, that's a responsibility. Like everything has to be described, and it's just.
And your listeners, like, the people who listen to those dystopian, any kind of like, so gamer, dystopian, or fantasy, they hold you to it. They will say, yeah, you said that he had an Excalibur sword, but that was actually what do they call not a chevron, but a crap. What is the name of the? There's a great big, the great big English swords. What were those? Okay, well, you have some homework to do before.
I can research it. But, I mean, I can research the hell out of anything, but I don't know it off the top of my head.
You do a ton of research, don't you? We should talk about your, these military books that you read. Me, my days in the special forces were so far away, so long ago that I don't remember most of the stuff. But but when I was reading the things that you do, so basically the books that I narrated for you were Black Ops, and all of these guys are former special forces like Delta Force, SEALs, and Marine Recon, and snipers, and they work for a private company, right? And then they do, and so they're doing contracting work. But the detail that you went into with these books, I mean, not being a special forces guy, I wouldn't know. You could pretty much tell me whatever you wanted, but it seemed pretty authentic to me. So it seemed like you did some pretty meticulous research.
I do a lot of research. I'm lucky that when I have when I have questions, I can ask my husband. There's questions about the Army that I call my son frequently and ask him to help me out with, and he helps me out. So, but other than that, I'm, I read a lot of books on the military. I watch a lot of videos. I read a lot of news articles. I have other friends in the military that I could ask, but yeah, there's a lot of research that goes into it for sure.
You could totally do like an infill and an exfill if you needed to. You could go, you could go do some stuff and then come back, and nobody would see you coming or going.
That's right. Super stealthy, for sure.
Yeah. I really admire your your ability to research this stuff. I mean, you go into a lot of detail, so it was really easy to like put myself in the story and act it out as if I was really doing it, because it seemed authentic. So,
well, I appreciate it. You did a great job narrating those 4 books. My readers certainly love them. So
thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was a good time. So where did your idea? So Joe West wants to know, where did your idea for the 707 series come from?
Hey, Joe. So I don't know. Honestly, I wrote those books so long ago. I know that when I started Free, which is book 1, I wanted it to be, it wasn't the book I intended to write. So that story was supposed to be something completely different. And it just kind of just took shape the way it did. And I kept writing, and then the rest of the series followed. But those 4 books, honestly, I kind of went into it blind. I didn't put a lot of forethought into how that series was going. The other books since then I have, because those were some of the first books I wrote. So I didn't understand the importance of planning a series and really kind of keeping track. And I just didn't, I was new in my writing career. I made some mistakes with planning out that series, but I don't plot. I'm a pantser. So I just the story just comes to me as I write it. So there wasn't a whole lot of planning with that.
So you have to go back and look through notes or something, don't you? When as you're going through the stuff, to go, to like remember, this guy's eyes are green, and his boot size was 12 or.
Yeah. And I have each series, excuse me, has a book Bible, an Excel spreadsheet. And then I also have just another program I use for a bunch of notes. And I'll tell you what, there's, especially in the Next Generation series, because that's a spinoff of the 707. So that's the original 4 couples. This is all their children. And so I had to use some creative time jumps, kind of use a little soap opera aging as I wrote those books. And damn it, I have so many spreadsheets on their ages and exactly how old. And I still, flubbed up a little bit in 2 of the characters' ages. But there's a lot of notes and spreadsheets and eye color tattoos. There's just so much you have to keep track of, for sure.
I think I need to do that too. If I end up doing this narrator thing for a living, I need to be more conscientious about what I do. But because, from one book to the other in a series, I mean, I'll get proofers back saying, Troy, you mispronounced the name again. In the first book, her name was Denise, and in this book, you're calling her D Nice. Who says D Nice anyway? But so I need to like come up with a cheat sheet or something to so that I can like remember from one to the other. So speaking of research, what's the? I mean, you've researched a lot of stuff. Do you have any like really weird things that you never knew before? Maybe that you wished you didn't know as you did your research? Anything that it would have the NSA kicking your door down?
Oh, for sure. I think that the one time I thought for sure Homeland was going to be at my doors, I was researching how to blow up the Ben Franklin Bridge in Philadelphia. And I got really specific in my Google searches, like exactly how many pounds of ammonium nitrate would it take to blow up the bridge, and like what blasting cap would I need? And my husband came in, he saw what I was looking at. He's like, "Oh no.
You want to get us killed?"
Done. Yeah. Close the computer, no more. And luckily he had a little book that he gave me.
Oh, really?
Here's all the recipes you need. Please never research that again.
At that moment in time, you probably had these black vans parked outside your house with like X-ray cameras looking at your thermal signature through the walls.
Yeah, I mean, because I research a lot about explosives and guns and bullets and all that kind of stuff, but I was asking very specific questions on how to blow up a bridge. So that was the one time that I really probably shouldn't have been researching that. And I think, I did some research. I had a book down in South America, and one of my characters was afraid of snakes. So I'm like, okay, so how can I kind of, make this humorous? He's afraid of snakes. So what? Lots of people are. So I found the penis snake. That thing is fantastic. It is so awesome.
Of course, with a name like penis snake, you have to be.
It looks like a penis. Like, I must have looked at 100 pictures of this penis snake. Like, I could not get enough of it. So, and I think
research, honey.
It's just research. And I have to look up some crazy stuff. I think probably the most embarrassing thing is I have a book coming up, and my girls are at a mail review, and they found their way there kind of on accident. And
usually that happens.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't on purpose. So, and I have never been to a mail review, so I didn't know if the inside kind of looked like a stripper. Does it look like a
stripper den?
Yeah, like a strip club. Or
in other words, you have been to stripper bars, you just have not been to mail reviews.
Indeed.
No.
So I had to look this up. Well, of course, what as I'm watching YouTube videos on Magic Mike and, flipping through YouTube videos, my 12-year-old comes in the living room and sits down next to me. He's like, Mom? Really? Like, this dad?
It was your boy?
Yeah, it was my son.
Oh, poor little guy.
He was 12.
He's scarred for life now.
Probably.
Mom, no. What? Why? No, Mom, no. Don't do it.
Yeah. So
man.
It's always fun when I get caught. That and book covers, like it never fails. I'm looking through models for book covers, and my son always comes in the room when I'm looking at bare-chested men. I mean,
well, you have to be looking at bare-chested men a lot. There's a lot of bare-chested men in your books and on your website and on your Facebook page, and you do a lot of research.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
A lot.
You're welcome, ladies. They're everywhere.
Yeah. You need to start doing some books on girls, with bare-chested girls in your plots. Make it
Are you trying to get me kicked off Amazon?
If you could like name some of the hero characters, Troy, it'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get one question in, and then I'm going to let you go. I don't want to keep you all night, but Melinda wants to know: do you ever lose yourself in the love scenes that you write? Like, do you take a minute and go, "I got the vapors"? That's my Riley impersonation, by the way. I got the vapors. And Troy, same question for you while you're narrating. Okay, you go first.
I do actually, and that's when I know that the scene is good. Is when I've lost myself in the scene and it goes quickly. I know that the scene is good. It's the scenes that I have to sit there and struggle with and delete and go back and rewrite that I'm like, okay, this isn't working. I need to step away for a minute.
Yeah.
Go find something else to do. Maybe some research.
Yeah, I kind of go through the same thing. Like sometimes a scene is like really hot, but here's my problem. I have to, as I'm performing this scene, if I get really into it, I kind of like become that, I don't know, like women comedians talk about like these creepy guys who are like, oh yeah, baby. And that's, so I start talking like that, like, And then he lifted her leg up over her shoulder. And then I realized I'm sounding like a creepy guy. And so I have to step back, and I have to like perform the scene. And it's like, when people have these near death experiences, and they like come, they float away from their body, and they see their body doing the, being hit by the medics with the paddles. That's kind of what I have to do with my sex scenes. I have to step away from my body and narrate what I'm seeing the hero do, and not imagine that it's my body. I have to imagine that it's like one of your bare-chested guys' bodies. That's my body.
Well, I mean, so when you narrate, do you ever do that in the nude, or?
Sure. Oh yeah. That's typically that's what I do. I just kind of wander downstairs, scratch my butt, grab my coffee,
Yes.
we have this between our upstairs and downstairs, there's a great big picture window, and our neighbors have they every now and then I'll see them, and I'll wave at them, but they have blinders on, and I don't know why, but yeah, they wear these blinder masks as I wander downstairs, saying, "Hey, neighbor," but then my studio is all blocked off. Nobody can see inside there. So yeah, I mean, that's the best way to do it. It's like, read in the nude. You should write in the nude. It's great.
I'll have to give that a try.
You have to if you have a leather chair, it's best to cover that thing with because if you stick to your chair, it's like, oh shit, probably more traumatic for me than you, but
I would say so.
That's just, but maybe we can save that for for our next,
the After Dark series.
Yeah, our After Dark series, and talk about our personal experience with narrating and writing in the nude. So. Riley, I had a really good time. I have to tell you, everybody out there listening and watching this Facebook Live, Riley was so nervous that she was going to screw it up. And she was great, right? She was fantastic.
Yeah,
you did a really good job. And you didn't hardly have to drink at all. So I think that
I didn't see you drinking, so I didn't. I was unclear if I.
This is my second 2 fingers of whiskey, so I'm well on my way into Friday night. I think it's my wife and I are probably going to go upstairs and watch. I don't know. We're going to watch something on Netflix. Maybe drink a little bit more. Get naked.
Sounds like a good night.
Do some narrating, and it'll be awesome. But no, I had a really good time talking to you, and I really appreciate it. And you were much more eloquent than I was, so I really appreciate it.
Thanks for inviting me on. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's a good time. It's really cool. Next time we have a chance to chat, we'll think of some other things to do. Maybe we can spend a little bit more time talking to the people. I kind of hogged this whole conversation, so. For the people in Riley's Rebels group, if you had questions that we didn't get to, I apologize, but we'll answer more questions the next time we hang out. Does that sound good? Oh, I have to say hi to Julie, because Julie is she's such a great fan. So, and Julie is a big fan of the 707 series too. So
hi, Julie. Thank you.
Yeah, she's the best. So, all right, Riley, I'm going to close it out. I will take a look at all the places where where our live is on. If you have any questions or comments, I'll chat with people as we're hanging out tonight, drinking and narrating in the nude.
Awesome. Hey, before we go, real quick, I wanted to because I know Jo is watching. She's one of my rebels. Totally awesome, okay. Huge supporter. I love Jo to death. I'm thinking Christine is probably in there too. So I know how much they love their Knob Creek. So I just wanted to make sure that they knew that I was.
What's the deal with Knob Creek? You said that your guys in all your stories drink Knob Creek.
Yeah. So in my Red Team series, one of my readers' favorite characters is Zane Lewis, and he drinks Knob Creek. So And maybe it's out of laziness. Maybe that's Knob Creek's my husband's favorite whiskey. So I tend to, most of my heroes all drink Knob Creek. So
my favorite, so I have two favorite Knob Creek whiskeys. There's the cask strength and there's the rye. And those are both great whiskeys. There's some really good whiskeys out there that they don't cost an arm and a leg. And
I'm a gin drinker. I typically don't drink whiskey.
You drink gin, really?
I drink gin. Oh, I love gin. We took a trip to Scotland and to this place called Islay, and went to all the whiskey distilleries there. My husband was in absolute heaven. But we went to, there's a gin distillery there, and they make the Botanist, and they use heather and lavender in the making of the gin, and it is phenomenal. That's the only gin I drink now. Is
you just drink it straight, or you drink it in drinks?
Just straight.
Really?
It is that good. Yeah. And I'm typically a beer drinker, or I'll just drink the gin straight. But it's awesome. Best gin.
I used to love to drink beer, but like beer is, if I have I've got because I'm very old and my body is quickly breaking down.
But you're like 93?
Yeah, I feel like that sometimes. Like when I drink beer, it gives me indigestion, which makes me so old. But the funny thing is, I can drink whiskey all night long, and I feel it burn the first time, but then after a while, it kind of cauterizes my gut. And whiskey is awesome. Beer harder for me to drink, and I used to love I love a good stout and I love a good IPA, but I know I'm going to pay for it. So
yeah,
because I'm old.
I'm a cheap date. I like Coors Light.
Coors Light. Oh my God, that's like the worst beer ever. I think.
Okay, wait. You know what I also do love too is I like
Coors Light. Oh my God, the Silver Bullet.
Angry Orchard. I'll drink Angry Orchard all day long. I love Angry Orchard, but just regular beer, Coors Light.
Coors Light. That's horrible. It's like a really boring librarian who drinks a lot is angry at you and made you a Coors Light. It's like, so here's.
I know a lot of people that totally dig librarians, so I'd be careful.
I like librarians. I'm talking about like a really angry librarians, the ones with the horn rimmed glasses that shush you. But so yeah, here it is. It's okay. You were talking. So at the top, and I know it's not. I know stouts are not technically a beer, but at the top, it's like Guinness. Well, we have a local
no way.
We have a local brewery here that makes like a better stout than Guinness, but most people know Guinness. You got Guinness. You have like Lagunitas IPA.
Mm-hmm.
There's I don't know if you ever had Lagunitas IPA. That's all the way from California, but then you have then the regular ones. We've got like Blue Moon is a good beer, and then there's like Fat Tire Ale, and then there's like there's Lowenbrau, and then there's maybe Budweiser.
You have Rolling Rock anywhere in there? Because I can drink a Rolling Rock.
Yeah, so there's Rolling Rock there. Rolling Rock is right around there, and then you have Bud Light, and then you have Miller, and then you have Miller Light, and then you have Stroh's, and then you have Schlitz, and then you have Old Milwaukee, and then below Old Milwaukee is like what your tire ran through on your way to get to work in the middle of the city, and then there's Coors Light.
Okay, you have done way more research on this than I have.
I was born and raised in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I've gotten drunk on Coors too many times. My first hangover, I hate to admit this, my first hangover was at the age of 12, and it was on Coors. And that was the worst hangover ever. I woke up.
So you're totally biased. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, and Miller Genuine
You
Draft
should try
is
it
the
again.
same thing. I can't drink Miller Genuine Draft, Coors, or tequila. Like it has to be like Jose Cuervo tequila, like the peppery tasting stuff. But I mean, I've gotten way too out of control on all of those. And so like I can't even smell them anymore. I can't, I just can't. I can't do it. You give me a peyote tab or whiskey and I'll be okay. But those beers, I can't do it. And it's all because of the errors of my youth.
So I'm going to send you a 6-pack of Coors Light and a bottle of tequila and 2 chapters of my book.
You can send me the book, but I'll tell you what, I will send you a keg of Coors Light if you send me 1/5 of Sagamore Spirit. That would be the deal.
Okay.
So let me tell you something. So Riley,
I don't know. I don't know how much is that?
$75. Look, I mean, you're rich. You can. That's like what you'd put in a bubblegum machine. Where you live on the East Coast, everything is expensive out there. So $75 is a drop in the bucket. But yeah, so Riley lives on the East Coast, and on the East Coast is one of the finest distilleries ever in the United States called Sagamore, and that's a.
Oh, is that the one over in Baltimore?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like their cask strength. Well, all of their whiskeys are rye, and their cask strength is like the bomb. It is the best whiskey. So, but we can't get it here in Missouri because they don't ship to us. I don't understand that, that whole concept about where they ship whiskey and where they don't. But apparently, we don't have treaties in. We're not getting along with Baltimore. So they don't send us their whiskey.
Not many people do.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Missouri is kind of like I live in Missouri, so I kind of, we're the weird ones at the Dungeons and Dragons lunch table. That's Missouri. So I understand how you feel. Listen, I've taken you for way too long. I don't know how long we've been on this thing, but there's probably like all of our viewers are like, you guys really needed to wrap it up about half an hour ago. But thank you for all your time. I had a great time.
Thank you very much.
It was fun, and yeah, we'll do it again sometime. Does that sound good?
Sounds good. Thank
all right,
you.
Riley Edwards. Cheers to you. Good night.
Cheers. Good night.